This is Jake Mintz. He was born on February 15th in the year 1900. He was the fast-talking, loud-mouthed boxing manager for famous heavyweight champion Ezzard Charles in the late 1940s and 1950s. To learn more about his life, I knew just the source to go to.
Hello.
This is his daughter Vivian, my Grandma Viv. Her birth year is not available for the public, but this year she is celebrating the 64th anniversary of her 24th birthday. This is the story of Jake Mintz, as told by Vivian Veith-Ackroyd. Here's Viv talking about her dad now.
My dad was a character. They used to call him malaprop, and I don't understand what that meant. But
This is my cousin Colin, explaining malapropism.
When you get an expression wrong, I can think of a good example.
yeah, that was my dad.
I had been saying for all intensive purposes until about a year ago, so maybe that's a genetic trait. More from Viv.
He was funny. My dad was very funny. My mother was very serious. My mother ran the concession stand, and when we came home from school on Mondays, there was a big sack of peanuts, and we used to sit there and bag them for her for the concession stand for that night.
Here's my mom on what she knew about Viv's relationship with her dad growing up.
I remember her making this statement, which I thought was pretty funny, and that she was his boy.
For sure, she used to talk all the time about, her love of sports, and it was all, her dad taking her to Pittsburgh Pirate baseball games.
And then, of course, there was Art Rooney, the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
My dad all the time to the office and used to sit on his lap.
And of course, she knew Mr. Rooney.
Meeting Art Rooney, the founder of the Steelers.
According to her, she has sat on quite a few laps.
They would see Mr. Rooney. I think she sat on Mr. Rooney's lap.
But Art Rooney actually named one of his racehorses after Jake.
Naturally, when Jake became Ezzard Charles's boxing manager, Viv was just as involved as ever.
I sometimes would jump rope with them, and so I was the only female ever allowed in there. Yeah, I was just a kid. When Ezzard Charles was coming to our house, and I would charge the boys a quarter to stand there and watch him come in our door. They would stand out there waiting to see him, and if they got lucky, they shook his hand. He was a good guy, yeah. I remember going to Chicago when he won the championship.
Yeah, and that's when your dad fainted?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Jake was so excited Ezzard Charles won, he fainted, right there in the ring. And we have it all on video. Sort of.
And the winner is Ezzard Charles.
I never saw the headlines, but he commented that had he known it would have made such a big story, he would have stayed down longer.
He was quite the theatrical personality.
Clearly, a performative personality was another family trait. Thanks, Jake. When Jake passed away in 1957, my Grandma Viv's first child, my Uncle Al, was only 1 year old. He never got to meet Aunt Junie, Uncle Bobby, my mom, Aunt Lori, or any of Viv's 9 grandchildren. He didn't get to see his daughter become the wonderful person that she is, and see her carry on his legacy of true sports fanaticism.
It made me pay more attention to boxing than I might have if I hadn't known that my grandfather, was the trainer, manager of a heavyweight champion in the world, which is pretty impressive.
I think he'd be proud.
Sundays and take dance lessons from Gene Kelly.
What? Actual Gene Kelly? Was he a nice guy?
Oh yeah, he kissed us all goodbye when he was leaving.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've been kissed by Gene Kelly.
Oh, very nice.
Well, I didn't know that.